Hey there travel bug, my name is Lady, and in the last video we got to explore Central Park and go to a Broadway show in New York City, and today I'm hoping for really good weather so that I can visit an observation deck. Today's the day that I'm supposed to get a view of the city. We'll see how this goes. Tried to go to breakfast at Madison and Vine, but they only have a buffet and I want a place that's not a buffet. There's another restaurant this way under the bridge called Persian Square, so we're gonna head out to check it out. One thing that's really cool that I didn't know we could do until Grand Central Terminal, so cool. Okay, until Emily told me about it, was a digital vaccination card, and that's been so nice not to have to carry around the paper all the time because everybody accepts it. Got my food, got here so much quicker than I was expecting, so I'm gonna dive in and eat before heading to the next event. I was right next to Grand Central Station, so wandered in here to explore a little bit before heading on to the next adventure, which I'm kind of scared about a little bit. First, it started with going through security for the Summit One Vanderbilt. We're getting these little shoes, these little shoe covers so that we don't scratch any of the glass, and scanning in, and for some reason, I'm not quite sure why, I probably should have asked, but they needed a scan of our faces before heading into this tunnel that made it feel like I was part of some Star Trek movie. Then we got into this really cool elevator that took us all the way to the 92nd floor before getting deposited into this intensely colored hallway that would change colors as you walked through it, before making it to the first, I would say, landing spot for this observation deck. Okay, so I came here to get a really awesome view of the New York skyline, and look at this. I can't see it. Dang it. Floors are mirrored, and it's supposed to make it look like anyone on the first and second floors are reflections of each other when you go through. And watching all of the videos of this place, it's different when you go there when they're actually open because it's New York City and it's incredibly busy. So people were all over the floor, they were lined up against the windows, and finding a spot to even get a video was a bit difficult. And then moving on to Reflect, it was an art piece where all these little, almost like liquid looking mirror pieces were strewn throughout this hallway. Haven't seen anything like this before. It almost felt like one of those movies where it's all supposed to connect and turn into some monster that the hero's supposed to fight, so that's what it reminded me of. This was the second most exciting thing that I was looking forward to, but it is so crowded in there that it's hard to really enjoy it because there's just so many people. You have to watch out for their stuff on the floor, watch out for them on the floor. Granted, I still enjoyed myself there, of course, but when you go, think of it in the mindset of, oh yes, it's gonna be crowded because it's New York City. I was not thinking that because all the videos I watched about it before were of people who got to go and visit it before it opened to the public. Second floor, now we can see all the people that are on the first floor, or the first floor that we visited, and look down on them. And this is part of where I'm supposed to look like their reflection according to how it was built by the artist who designed this. And then on to Levitation, where if you want to stand out here, you have to take one of their photos. You can't take a photo on your own. Considering that I can't even walk on glass stairs that are 5 feet off the ground, this is a huge deal. Oh gosh. To be able to stand over 1,000 feet in the air in this glass box. It was crazy. Fake clouds versus real clouds. Completely different. I made my way upstairs to their bar, which I just wanted to see what it looked like. There was an opportunity to walk outside and enjoy an outside view, but the weather was just so terrible and windy that I decided to stay inside, enjoy the warmth of the little fireplace, and then head back from the tower in the elevator so you can actually see what it really looked like. It sounds so cool. I walked back to the hotel and met up with my friends so that we could head out to the color factory. We wanted an indoor activity because the weather was just so terrible, and this was more fun than I thought it was gonna be. So everything is all about color. You start off by grabbing a macaron, and then we choose a button from this wall. When I saw the videos about these, I thought these were just a piece of art, but you actually get to pull buttons off of the wall and take with you. This part, when you have someone that you went with, you both go onto one side. So I was on the yellow side and she was on the blue. And you put on these headphones, and then there's a pre-recorded thing that goes on, and it tells you different things to accomplish with the person across from you. Put in one of the squares colors that you feel represents the person that you went with, or their favorite color. And it was really fun to think about the colors that I had available and think about my friend Jess and what colors I felt really matched her. She was wearing this maroon like shirt, so I mixed in the red and the purple and the brown because we didn't really have a colored pencil that had maroon in it. We had to draw our friend without picking up the pencil, and then we got to choose these cute little cute little compliment cards. They gave 3 options, and the option I chose for her was "You're golden," and she gave me "You're a breath of fresh air." We got more snacks that coordinated with the colors that represented the room we were just in, and then moved on. This was actually one of my favorite parts. The room full of confetti. Oh my goodness. As you're walking, confetti's just falling from the sky. We moved on to a room that would ask us a bunch of choices before revealing our secret color. What? I hadn't been to a silent disco before, but in our headphones a bunch of music was playing, and I'm assuming it's a lot more fun when you're not the only one on the dance floor. There's like a little candy dispenser of Pop Rocks that you get as a little treat here. And this room was a room that reminded me of being a kid. This is definitely a little bit more green. I'm gonna go to this place that some people said looked like Tulum, but when you look at it at Giotano, you can only get pickup or deliveries. There's no eating. So we have to go to the next place on our list. So I'm walking now, and as you can see, it's super bright out. The sky is actually blue and pretty. Why couldn't it have been this beautiful when I was up in the Summit One this morning? That's okay. I still had a lot of fun, and it was still good. So a 30-minute walk later, the Nokeria is also closed, but their website says that they're open, and we walked here just for them. So now we need to actually figure out where we're going for lunch, because now I'm hungry, and this is kind of sad. So the previous place for Noki, they actually didn't open till 3, which is why they were closed, and I completely missed that. I thought that they were open. The noodle bar now, we walked another 11 minutes to it, but they're currently fully booked. So we put our name down, and we should be able to get seated in a little less than an hour. My favorite thing that I ate in my New York trip were these spicy lamb buns. Oh my word, they were so flavorful and just amazing. And then we went on the subway for the first time this day so that we could do our champagne and cheese tour, and it was in the bottom part of Manhattan, and it was different there. Not as much honking. They were still honking because it's New York, but it was just a little bit slower pace, which I enjoyed. I highly suggest Little Island around sunset. It wasn't something that we planned to do, but once we were there around sunset, I honestly don't know if I would explore it any other way now. By the time we were ready to go on the little mini cruise, the weather had definitely gotten a lot better.
Watch your step up. Watch your step behind the door.
Welcome. Watch your step, please. Hi. Welcome aboard. Watch your step, please.
Okay, so we just boarded the classic cruise, and we're in section G. We got 3 different types of cheeses, goat, milk, and sheep, along with a nice raspberry jam to go along with our champagne. We were definitely looking forward to the cheese and thought we were going to have a different cheese pairing with each of the champagnes that we tried. That is not the case. And she came by and said, "Oh, you guys are a little slow with that champagne, huh?" And then when we finished all of our cheese, she said, "Oh, you guys finished your cheese pretty quickly, huh?" Just so you know, the cheese is supposed to last for all 4 champagnes. And there's the Statue of Liberty at night. Trying to go to the restaurant underneath our hotel, however, they're currently full. So we got a recommendation from someone at the front desk, and hopefully they're available because I'm ready to eat. I had this delicious burrata, a wonderful noodle dish. It's like a pepper noodle dish, and my friend got a burger. The next and final video of the New York series is on your screen right now. Click it to watch. I'm heading to the 9/11 memorial, as well as going on a helicopter and exploring more of the city, and finally trying the restaurant below our hotel, and there's a funny story behind that too.